We've mentioned a lot lately on the show how, given a long enough timeline, eventually we'll cover everything on this podcast. But we've mainly only done TV shows and movies so far.
That's right. So this week we're going a little abstract. And since it's the first episode of the month, we are going to talk about something that people typically only do on the first of the month. And it's also something that both of us are in the middle of doing right now. This week, we discuss moving.
How Star Wars is it?
Well, hello, microphone.
Well, hello.
Sorry, I said mic and then I said microphone like I was trying to do a joke that I wasn't actually saying hi to you, but I was saying hi to you. I'm sorry.
Oh, shoot. Oh, let's get that clean.
Yeah, that was a bad energy. I don't want to prank you this early in the podcast.
Uh-huh.
Well, hello there, Mike. See, that's it. Just Mike.
Okay. Is this all staying in?
Sure.
I mean, whatever. Who gives a shit? Welcome, everybody, to How Star Wars Is It?
The only podcast where we review everything in the world, movies, TV, and now an abstract concept on today's episode. Not on a scale of how good or bad it is, but on a scale of how Star Wars it is.
That's right.
That's
we will do everything. As we said last week, I believe we will do pizza. I promise that will happen.
It will.
But yeah, this week we're doing moving because as of this recording, I've been moving for a few weeks, and as of the release of this, hopefully, it will have just been September 1st, which is like my Chicago-versary. It's the date I moved to Chicago, September 1st.
Aw, that's cute.
And you just moved to Alaska and are moving back here.
That's true. That's true. My Chicago-versary is January 13th.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. I was like, I did this wrong. I did this the wrong way. This is a bad time to come.
Was it a Friday the 13th?
No, but it was unlucky because my long-term girlfriend did break up with me like 2 weeks later. So, you know.
That's a big bummer.
Yeah, really good energy once again to start the podcast off with over here.
You know, we have a Friday the 13th coming up soon.
Wait,
yeah.
In September?
In September.
Ooh, that's a spooky one.
Yeah, September is definitely a spooky month. It's not the spooky month, but...
It's probably I'd say it's up there on how spooky is it. But not, like you said, not the spookiest, but pretty dang spooky, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
And I do.
So if you're just finding our show recently because maybe some SEO drove you to the podcast because it was Shark Month last month, and you were like, this is kind of weird. Well, now we're firmly cemented back into a regularly scheduled episode, and we are not doing something terribly accessible like, you know... a
Star
movie
Wars.
like Back to the Future or something. We're doing moving.
Yeah, and let's be clear. This is not like the concept of just moving around, like moving, like locomotion, like moving your body.
Relocating residences.
Yes, you got to change that address. You got to go get some boxes. You got
to change the address with the postal service and pay $1.05, and then they send you all sorts of coupons to Amazon and Crate and Barrel and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's and then you might never stop getting those coupons in your junk mail.
You will never stop. So I do want to. We have a lot of things to cover in today's episode because
it's true. It's a jam-packed.
First of all, I want us to kind of briefly describe our own personal moving stories. I have an immediate weird, funny thing, but then also I think we should maybe start with Wendy's.
Oh, I've missed it. How I've missed
again,
the Wendy's
corner. If
corner.
you're a newcomer to the podcast, it's mostly just a show about Wendy's.
Yeah, pretty much. We do have several corners we go to, those being the Wendy's corner. There's a couple other ones, but this is probably the most important one.
Oh, yeah. So
Mike,
I
tell me
wanted
about
to bring
Wendy's.
up Wendy's because it's now a few weeks stale at this point, but I went on day one of the return of spicy nuggets.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in fact, I heard about them, like, coming soon or whatever, And I went on like a Thursday or Friday or something, and I was like, "Do you guys have those spicy nuggets yet?" You know, like from the drive-through. And the guy was like, "Oh no,
spicy nuggets yet?"
And the guy was like, "No, Monday." And I was like, I will be back.
That's amazing. Because they probably did have them there. They just couldn't give them to you yet. They were probably in the back.
Yeah, right. Like how bookstores all got the Harry Potter books like a day or two before, but then they could only release them at midnight on the day.
Right. It's like what if every Wendy's has just had these spicy chicken nuggets this whole time?
Oh.
They just couldn't sell them because they weren't allowed. And they're like, we're just sitting on the mother load here.
Well, and also I've heard that like they were around before, which I just missed, I guess. But Chance the Rapper is largely to thank for why they came back.
Yes, it is. I remember this story because my Google loves to send me news stories about Chance the Rapper and also news stories about Wendy's. And so when it found this one and they were both in there, it was like, oh, he's gonna love this.
You know who's gonna like this? It's like a friend from high school who you only sort of kind of keep up with, and it's like that you have like one or two things. Like, oh, I know you like cycling, so I'm gonna send you an article about cycling.
That's exactly what Google did to me. It was like you still like Chance the Rapper and Wendy's, right? And I was like, I do. And they were like, well, here's a story about both of them. So apparently, Chance the Rapper tweeted something about. Like tweeted at Wendy's. So like I think we actually might have talked about it on the podcast before too. Maybe I can't remember.
Oh, I believe that.
But he tweeted at him being like, "Bring back the spicy nuggets" or whatever. And then Wendy's was like, "If we could get 2 million retweets on this tweet, we'll bring him back." And then they did, and then they brought him back.
And then so Wendy's tweeted that, and then they're like, "Yeah, that'll ever happen." And then they read a whole bunch of comic books. And then they got back on Twitter and they were like, 2 million.
They were like, whoa. Yeah, it was, I mean, good job, Wendy's. You did the thing. You brought back what everyone wanted. So good job.
So here's what I will say about the spicy nuggets. Yes, I did get them on the first day they came out, but have I also gotten them more since then? Of course I have.
They're good.
I really like them. They are, so I like the nuggets. I typically, recently will get the nuggets over the spicy chicken sandwich. Those are kind of my only two I get there. Because a lot of times I'll be going somewhere like to a rehearsal or to a show and I have to eat in the car. And it's a lot easier to eat a nugget. But I get a little, I miss my spicy buddy. And then this thing has the handheld convenience of the nugget and the spicy of the spicy chicken.
Yeah, it does.
I texted someone, probably Caitlin, I can't remember, but I was like, I understand how ridiculous this sounds, but the Wendy's spicy nugget is a godsend.
It's making my life actively better.
Yeah, they're great.
No, they're great. I love them. The traditional nug is good. The spicy's even better because it gives that little bit of a kick, and it's just enough.
Yeah, it's not like a huge kick.
No,
I think people who aren't super spicy fans might be like, "Whew, that's hot," but those people are wimps.
Oh gosh, Mike, don't even get me started on people who can't. Okay, so Mike, you're from Indiana, right?
Sure.
Whoa, the way you said that.
Yes. No, categorically.
Yeah, I was gonna say, sure, yeah. Of course I am. So I'm from the good old state of Texas, as I've talked about before, I think. And probably because I never shut up about it. But so I like spicy food, and I'm not saying that everyone in Texas likes spicy food, but pretty much everyone does. And it's also, there's a lot of it because there's a lot of Mexican food, a lot of Tex-Mex.
Sure.
And so there's a lot of spices going on. And then let me tell you, I moved to Chicago, and I was like, wow, the Midwestern palate might truly be the worst palate in the world, maybe.
Right.
Maybe beaten only by like people who are from England.
Yeah.
and only like the English food and don't like all the good other food that they have in England. They're like, I just like meat pies and that's all.
Right.
And not to say that Chicago's got some great food. I love a Chicago dog. I love an Italian beef. I love them. But
hey, I'm walking here. Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. But their Mexican food sucks ass, and everyone in Chicago and everyone in the Midwest in general I found, this is a generalization, just cannot handle spicy like at all. And
Right.
that's even more so here in Alaska. Like, so the show I'm in, the place I'm working, like we all live on a campus, and there's like a employee like cafeteria that's run by a company that I'm not going to name because I don't want to get in trouble. But they literally have to like dumb down some foods because apparently people have like complained about things being too spicy. And I have like never once eaten anything in this cafeteria and thought to myself, wow, that was spicy. Like the most I've thought was that was a little flavorful. Okay,
Right.
nice. Like there's literally never been a moment where I've been like, ooh, ouchie, ouchie, my mouth, so hot. And one time on taco night, because they have a taco night and it's never good, they literally had on like labeled, they were like chicken, no seasoning. So it was like just regular, I guess, I don't
Bland
know.
beige chicken.
Yeah, just cooked chicken that was only cooked with literally nothing on it. Because apparently they had gotten like complaints from people that it was too spicy. And I was like, who's doing this?
Like, it has salt and pepper on it, and that makes it spicy.
Yeah, it was so strange. Anyway, I just wanted to go off on all you dang Midwesterners.
Yeah.
All
So,
you dang
get,
Midwesterners.
Get some freaking courage and go get the spicy nuggets, and welcome to a new world.
Yeah, welcome to the new world. It's great. I love it. I miss it. I can't wait to go to Fairbanks again soon and get some spicy nugs.
Yeah, dude.
And,
I had two other things on my list here before we really dig into the meat of moving.
Okay, great.
And these are quick, but we have a live episode coming up soon. We are part of Pod Slam, which is a big event here in Chicago. It's like a 12-hour-ish long thing, and that might not be exactly right. I think that's right. And we are at 4 o'clock on that afternoon. It's at the IO Theater. I'm actually going to pull up the stuff for it right now. It is a benefit for Connor's Cure. And it's September 21st, 12 straight hours. I was right. And there's a lot of like local podcasters doing shows, including ours truly.
Yep. It's going to be a really cool show. Connor's Cure is the foundation to raise money for fighting pediatric cancer. And there's going to be a lot of fun shows. IO's a fun place. If you're a listener that is in the Chicago area, you should come check it out. For those of you who aren't in the Chicago area, don't worry. We'll post it. It's going to be a shorter episode, but I think we're just going to post it as is just to be like, check it out. This was our first live episode. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Right. So that's
that
that announcement. And then the only other announcement I have here is we mentioned last week that the Matrix parody musical just ended. But guess what? It got extended.
Ayo!
We go through the whole month of September every Friday and Saturday. There's a few
great.
dates that I won't be in, but
Still
that's
at the Den
schedule.
Theater.
Still at the Den Theater.
Love the Den. Love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So people in Chicago, our listeners there, go see the one if you didn't see it on the first round through. Because I might get to come see it now.
Oh hell yeah!
Yes, because I'm
I'll
gonna
tell
be
you the dates that I'm not in it, so you come to the ones that I am.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because I'm gonna be back. So I'll be back. This episode's coming out first week of September, and I'll be back in Chicago like 2 weeks after this airs.
Hell yeah, we might record an episode or two together.
Yeah, looking in each other's eyes like we love to do. Just like staring in those baby blues.
Oh,
Mike, are your eyes blue?
They are.
Great. That was a total. I was just saying baby blues, and
They're
then I was like,
they're
I
like
think they're
greenish blue. I would say they're probably more
Sure.
blue than green, though.
Sure. What's it say on your driver's license? That's what we really.
It says
counts,
blue.
Yeah, I've got blue eyes. My driver's license said for a long time, like the first time I went to get one, they were like, how tall are you? And I guess they just didn't bother to like actually measure me up against that thing. And I was like, well, I'm 5'11", but technically I'm actually 5'10 3/4, like kind of joking with them. And so then they wrote down 5'10", and I was like, damn it. And then
Hey, I said 3/4. That's
And
a
then when I
whole
went-
thickness of a sheet of plywood, dog.
yeah. And then when I went to get it renewed this first time, I was like 5'11", and they were like, you look 6 foot, and they just wrote 6 foot on there. So I was like, what's happening? This seems like irresponsible in a way. Like, what if I commit a crime and they're like, well, he's not 6 foot, can't be him. Like, I don't
They describe you down to the letter, like your first and last name, your blood type, that you're an organ donor, the color of your eyes, and then they're like, well, it's not this guy. This guy's 5'11".
Yeah, and he's obviously on official records. It says he's 6 foot, but nowadays it does say 5'11". I finally got that rectified whenever I got I think it wasn't until I got my Chicago license.
Man, what an ordeal.
I know. I was like, I need everyone to know how tall I am. What else did we have to cover before we dive into the meat?
That's all of the like get out of the way stuff. Should we do the episode?
Yeah, I guess.
I figured we'd start by telling any kind of like personal moving stories.
Sure.
I have one that in just this recent move, my parents came up to help us, which was awesome. Thank you. And my mom brought my sister and I each a little box, a little bin that had some like moving survival stuff, like some paper towels and toilet paper and stuff that it's just like, hey, let's get this in there right away.
Right.
And in there, among other things, was 2 decks of cards. Which must have just been from home. I don't know exactly the story behind it, but we had already started moving some stuff, and we moved all day that day. And Caitlin, like, I have cards also. Like, I had a couple of decks of cards in my like board game area, and Caitlin was like, "How do we have so many decks of cards already?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm sure I had 2 or 3," and she was like, "There are 2 in this box." And I was like, "Oh, like from my parents?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, that's funny." And she was like, "Is that like a tradition?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "Do your parents give you cards when you move to a new place, or is that like something people in Indiana do?" And I was like, "No." But like, she was just like, I don't get how, like, I have probably lived 5 to 10 years of my life not having a deck of cards. And I was like, well, that's also not normal either. But I hear you. We have somewhere between 2 and 3 too many decks of cards. But like, she kind of kept pressing me like, is it a tradition in your family that you like exchange decks of cards when someone moves? And I was like, no, that's a very funny conclusion you drew, but no, that it's not. I'm not lying to you.
She's like, Mike, you don't have to be embarrassed if you guys give each other cards all the time. Like, just tell me.
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. Why would we do that? Well,
I
your
love that
parents
she was
did.
sleuthing that. Yeah, you obviously do this. Like,
Yeah, okay,
come on.
fine. Well,
oh, I love that. The idea that like it's obvious that your mom was like, we have too many cards. I'm gonna get rid of these. You know what? I'm gonna give these to Mike and Allie. They can have them. I don't want these hanging around in my house anymore.
yeah, maybe. I don't. Upon reflecting on it, I guess I don't know what the motivation was. It's a nice thing to have them. But,
well, if it's like moving survival supplies,
right.
I guess maybe the idea is like you could be waiting for the Wi-Fi guy for a while. Might need to play some solitaire.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm just trying to rationalize it.
I imagine my mom will listen to this because she's a big Hisui fan. So
a listener.
When she inevitably hears it, we'll chat and get to the bottom of it.
Good. I'm trying to think if I have any like funny moving stories. So I lived in Chicago so I moved to Chicago in 2015, and I still consider it sort of my home base, even though I haven't been there this summer. And I lived in 3 different apartments in like the 3.5 years that I was actually there, which was stressful because I pretty much was moving like once a year at least until the most recent one. Gosh, I've had bad roommates, but I don't want to talk about those kind of moving stories. I am that friend though that like is gonna help you move. Like if you know me and I'm in the area, I'm gonna help you move.
I've done that once or twice too, and it kind of sucks.
It does. It kind of sucks being that friend, but like I'm not like a really big guy, but I'm like a decent sized guy. I'm stronger than I look. I don't mind like moving things and like helping out and stuff. And I like inevitably end up helping my friends move just because it's like, yeah, that's just kind of his, like, I'm the one you would ask, you know what I mean? They're like, yeah, Josiah's
right.
kind of big, he'll help. And I pretty much always do. Like when people ask me, I'm like, yeah, I gotta help you move, you know, I can't say no to that. I gotta be a good pal. And so I'm just like always been that, even back when I think the first moving story I had was when we helped my friend, like when we were going into the freshman year of high school. My friend Eddie and I helped our friend Kyla move because she was moving cities. So like we piled all their stuff into like a moving van, and then rode with them to the next city because it was only like 2 hours away in an RV, and helped them unload too, which was kind of a weird thing that was kind of weird, but it was also kind of cute. And me and Eddie definitely broke the glass in one of their like, what are those things called? What are those things called that you hold stuff in? Yeah, they had a phone booth, and we were carrying it around, and then we broke it a little bit. So I just want Tim Webb to know that I'm sorry I broke your phone booth glass. I don't think we told you. I think we tried to hide it.
Tim.
So I'm sorry, Tim. Please forgive me.
Tim,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
I just wanted to apologize to Tim again, just to make sure he heard me.
We moved into a condo.
Oh,
but it's a rental, but it was formerly at some point someone owned it as a condo, and there's all these kind of goofy things that need to be fixed and stuff like that. You know, like I don't remember any time in Chicago moving into somewhere that was like ready to be moved into.
Oh yeah, absolutely
like,
not.
It's always such a pain in the ass. And you have to, you know, record all the, you know, like, okay, well, there's this huge scratch in the floor, and there's this, you know, whatever, so that you don't get dinged on your departure from the apartment.
Yeah.
But we paid a move-in fee this time instead of a security deposit. Which, like, kind of sucks because it's just like, here's cash.
Right, and you're not going to get that back.
And they're like, this will cover all the, you know, like, move-in expenses from our side. And it's like, okay, well, you didn't think to, you know, fix the shit that needs to get fixed.
Yeah, you didn't think to get it ready before we got here?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
My last apartment, I will be, you know, getting my security deposit back, which rules.
Hell yeah,
Because
dude.
I've lived there for 3 years, so it's going to just be like, it's money I already kind of forgot about. So
Right, you were like,
Hell yeah.
What's this? So yeah, I left in kind of a hurry from my apartment in Chicago to come here to Alaska because we got rid of my old roommate, good friend, JT, moved out before, and then we had a really crappy subletter who paid rent late every time.
Whoa.
And yeah, he sucked, and he kind of was responsible for basically our last payment like didn't go through because he didn't pay me in time, so then like the check bounced.
Yikes.
So then I basically came to Alaska owing my landlord a little decent chunk of money.
Shit.
Which was not fun. And so, but then my landlord kept, and I also we left that apartment, and it was not like in terrible condition, like we cleaned, but didn't like deep clean really.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like left a sofa in there because I was like, I don't got time to move this sofa out of here. I don't care, they can do it. And then my landlord like sent me like the costs that their like handyman person had put. And it was like, had to move couches. It's so dirty. Like, it was very sassy for, like, an itemized list, like, somehow. And he also kept, like, bugging me about it. And I was like, hey, man, I'll send you that rent money. Don't worry about it. And he was trying to, like, finagle me and, like
shake you down.
Yeah, sort of threaten to be like, you better do it, or else I'm going to send it to the lawyers. And I was like, hey, buddy, real quick. You don't involve lawyers, and then I just kind of in the email spelled out everything that they had done that was illegal in the time that we had lived there.
Oh shit!
Because so everyone in this moving episode, here's a public service announcement: look up the sort of like codes in your area wherever you are of what your landlord is allowed to do and not allowed to do.
Right.
Because you can get your landlord pretty much to you can play hardball with them basically,
right?
Because it's their job to do a lot of things, and a lot of times landlords don't do those things. And like, for instance, fix your toilet whenever you ask them to, and then a week later they finally get it done. Like, that's not allowed.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's not allowed, and that's one thing that they did. That we also
have to,
reported.
Like, walk around your neighborhood and find one of those yellow and brown porta potties called the drop zone?
No, we would just go to like if we had to poop, we'd just go to the coffee shop nearby. Like it was that bad.
Sucks.
Yeah, it was so annoying. We'd either poop at work or you'd be like, well, I guess I got to walk to this coffee shop real quick.
Wow.
And they also didn't fix multiple things that we told them about, and they didn't give us. I think in Chicago it's actually 48 hours notice if you're going to like do a showing of the apartment, or if you're going to come by as the landlord. You're supposed to give it's either 24 or 48 hours.
I think it might be 24 because we were just looking at apartments and he said that to us, but I think it's also just kind of like, can we show your apartment, please? Yeah,
so they're supposed to give you notice, which all that to say, there were several times where they would just text us like the afternoon at like 4 and be like, hey, tomorrow can we bring someone by at like 1? And I was like, no, you can't. I'm not ready. Like we got. Do you want them to see this place looking like shit? Because then yes, if that's what you want.
Right.
So then I just like told them, I was
my
like,
week's worth of poop is in the toilet.
Yeah, you guys didn't fix it. But all that to say, you don't have to take shit from your landlord, because most of the time they just don't do stuff that they're supposed to because they know that most people don't know about it. So I like just told our landlord, I was like, I'm gonna get you the money, don't worry, like I'll send it to you in these 2 payments, and cool it, or else I'll get lawyers involved. And then after that, he was very nice and didn't talk very much, and I was like, that's what I thought.
Yeah, right.
Mr. Landlord. Anyway, landlords are bastards.
That's true.
That's true.
I've had actually like some fairly good luck with landlords. Like our current folks are, it's more just like a pain in the ass with all the red tape of like having to contact the management company, and who am I even contacting there? There's like 3 or 4 people we've had conversations with, and then they have to get all these subcontractors. In the past couple of houses I've had, it's just like the owner, and you know, he comes by and fixes something or sends someone. But like my current, you know, like the apartment I'm leaving, I texted him maybe a month ago, and because one of our like blinds just gave up, it just fell off the window.
I was like, I'm done.
I texted him a picture of it, and I wrote it all out. Again, I've lived there for 3 years, and he gets a text from me maybe every other month or every 3 months because something needs fixing or whatever. If that frequently, maybe even like, you know, twice a year. And it just said like, hi, Kevin. This, you know, thing broke. This is the picture. I'm sure it was while we were all at work today, blah, 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 whatever. Like, what would you like us to do? And I just got a response, all lowercase, no punctuation. Who's this? I was like, what the hell, man?
New phone, who dis? Amazing. Can't believe that's, oh, God. Wow.
Well, gosh, we've already gone for like a half hour or so, and we haven't tied this to Star Wars at all. Do we want to quickly make any little pro cases, or do we want to go to the Sarlacc pit and come back? And
let's do some quick pros.
Okay.
So yeah, Mike, you had the idea for this app,
right? Because
do you have anything
I
out
was
the
in the
gate?
middle of doing. It's been like 2 weeks of just like every day or so bringing another carload over. So it's been on my mind. I don't have anything that comes to mind of how this is very Star Wars. It's I think about Star Wars all the time, and the past couple of weeks I've been thinking about moving all the time. But that's very circumstantial. I'm not always thinking about moving when I'm not about to move or in the midst of moving. So I think, you know, part of it that could tie it to Star Wars is it's an evolving thing. Like some people may not move a lot in their lives, but I now am just about to begin my 7th year. Like I'm just almost through my 6th year in Chicago, and in that time, this is now my 4th apartment. So like every couple years, you get a new one. Like every couple years, you get a new Star Wars.
You get a new Star Wars. That's true.
That's true. It moves the story along. Like in the first one, I moved here with someone who we had met before, but we weren't ever really close. And then the next time, my life kind of progressed, and I moved in with a friend, and then new cast of characters, and the next time I moved in with other, you know.
Okay, so here we're looking at apartments like different installments of a franchise. The franchise being our lives.
Yes.
I'm kind of into that. That's kind of a fun way to look at that. I will say the hard thing about moving is I think it is the first time we're doing so we did sharks, which is an animal.
That's
on
right.
the Shark Month finale, but we
that
haven't
was just
done
saying if it passed or failed. We haven't really done a deep analysis of sharks.
right. So this is a concept. Like it's not necessarily an abstract concept like liberty or something like that,
Right.
but it is a concept. It is a thing that that people do. So
And it has similarities probably fairly universally, but other people's moving experiences might be entirely different from mine. Whereas people might have different relationships to Star Wars, but Star Wars is stagnant. It's not like a different movie for different people.
Yes, exactly. Star Wars will always you can look at the screen on Star Wars and it'll be the same. You're gonna get those same that same input into those old rods and cones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'll come in upside down, and then your brain will flip it over.
Yeah. And then we'll be like, whoa, so pretty.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that new look at the episode 9 at the Disney Plus.
Shit, that was also my
D23.
list. Talk about all the new stuff that just got announced.
Yeah, we can do that when we come back.
Okay.
But it's hard because this is a concept, and then where Star Wars is a franchise, moving is not. So it's a hard one to do because there's no hero's journey when it comes to moving. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or is there?
Is it you are the hero?
Right.
In the same way that you kind of are Luke, because he's the one who is the outsider to the greater world of the stars.
And moving could be the dark night of the soul.
Sure.
Is that what is that the phrase?
Yeah, that's like the sort of internal crisis before you say yes, I'm gonna be the hero.
Suck.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. You are anticipating it, and then when the time comes, you're like, eh. Like the fact that we've had a couple weeks of overlap between apartments, we were really looking forward to that, and then now that we're in the middle of it, it's just been like a drag because we'll take a load over, and then a whole day will pass, and we wouldn't have had any time, and then we'll have to take another load, and it's just been like
because even when you're moving to a new, cool, better situation or better place, moving still fucking sucks because it's just expensive and time consuming, and it's not fun to do because you're gonna have to carry heavy things, and you're gonna sweat, and it's not good.
And that is not true of Star Wars. Star Wars is fun.
That's true. Star Wars is pretty fun. Even when Star Wars is bad, it's still like kind of fun.
Right.
You're like, oh. So those are some pros and cons. Should we take a quick trip to the pit? And then we can come back?
We can come back. We can maybe touch on some of these announcements. I don't have like opinions. I'm just like excited. I guess that's really all
there's
I have
some cool
to say.
stuff.
I'm excited about The Mandalorian. I'm excited about Episode 9. I'm excited about having to pay more money every month to get Disney Plus to watch all this shit.
I know.
That's
The Mandalorian
kind of the
looks.
extent of my take.
I'm honestly a little more excited for The Mandalorian maybe than for Episode 9 because I think it's going to be very interesting to have. I'm so excited for a Star Wars TV show. Like I don't know what that's
right. It is
gonna
exciting.
look like.
I have not wanted to get excited for anything, especially in the wake of it's just like these teaser trailers and like you can read into them 9,000 different ways, and I'm already like tired of people's takes. But that said, when those couple trailers dropped, I was like, oh man, I'm excited.
I know, and gosh, they keep hitting us with this good Rey content. Like,
oh yes.
Like the good jump in the trailer early,
jump.
in the spring, and now that double lightsaber. You kidding me with that?
Man, I think it looks so silly.
It looks. I mean, it does. It is a silly way to do a dual-bladed lightsaber, but I don't know. It kind of makes sense for like how she fights and stuff.
I would think
guess
for
maybe.
safety, though, you would unhinge it and lock it into its dual position before igniting it. You know?
Sure.
Why? I don't know. I
but
truly
for
don't
the
even want to get into it because,
aesthetics,
like, who gives a shit?
For the aesthetics of it, though, you gotta admit it looks cool. Yeah. And as we know, Jedi mostly just care about aesthetics.
Yes.
Robes, not so much about robes,
braids.
Yeah, long little braids. Being sort of not helpful to the galaxy as a whole. Sorry, that's my man. I'm coming hard on Jedi now.
Yeah, no, they were prideful. They
were?
Didn't know how much harm they were doing.
Man, do you think like Yoda ever in his like old age in Dagobah just was like sitting there and he was like, "Man, we really kind of fucked up, huh?"
Like, I think he definitely did. Because in The Last Jedi, his ghostly form is very like, Luke, come on, dude.
Yeah. He's like, come on, man. Look at me. I'm a little ghost guy.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's go to the pit for sure.
Okay.
And then we'll be back.
Oh, I will
after
say
these-
one more thing. I will say that little
Fuck.
first. Yeah. Mike, shut up. Let me talk. I don't want to go to the pit yet. I don't want to go. I was gonna say, it's the as a little setup for the game maybe. That trailer, that little sneak peek was very moving when it went through all the different Star Wars movies.
That ties us to our theme today.
And our little game we're playing later. So okay, let's go to the pit now.
Okay, bye.
Whee!
We love you, and may the merch be with you.
That's right. Hello, History's listeners. It's Josiah
And Mike.
Mike here in the ad break to talk to you about our merch. We sometimes mention it at the end of a show, but we have merch. We've got several cool designs on our TeePublic store that you could get on a shirt, a sticker, a mug, whatever you want. Mike, what are some of those designs?
Oh, we got Star Wars' chili, the classic Skyline chili logo, reappropriated to our show. We got just straight up Hisui. We've got the logo for the podcast. There's a lot of designs. And we're always making new ones.
They're always cooking in our brains. So go to our social media, Twitter, Instagram. Go to the link in the bios there because that'll take you straight to the How Star Wars Is a store on TeePublic.
And it helps support the show.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye, babies.
How Star Wars is it?
We're back.
And we're back. That was a good little trip to the pit. Thanks to our sponsors.
Yes.
And
Speaking of which, you can go to our Anchor podcast website, which is anchor.fm/How Star Wars Is It, I believe.
yeah, that's true.
If you ever want to, see our official hosted platform. I mean, like, that's the closest thing we have to, like, a website.
That's true. You can
and
also give us money
you can,
there.
You can donate to us there.
Yeah, give us that money. So are we? So should we do our little game now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Mike, this one's less of a game and more of like, I guess, a look back.
Like a discussion. Okay. We're trying to discover here if moving is Star Wars, but
Right.
one thing we are certain of is that Star Wars is moving.
Oh, damn, that was good. That was really good. I loved that.
Yeah.
Star Wars is definitely moving. There's been some beautiful moments that really make your heart go, that make your heart flutter, and you're like, oh, that was so cool.
Yeah.
And also, oh, that was so sad, and that was so sweet, and like there's some good shit, and there's some good cinematography, some good movie making that really makes you feel some things.
Sure does.
And so Mike and I put together a little lift. Wow. I can't talk today. Put together a little, you guys didn't hear it, but the cold open took me like 8 minutes to do because I just kept saying words wrong. Like, it was very weird.
He was just doing cold opens from other episodes.
Yeah, I was like, Mike was like, Josiah, please. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But we put together a little list of I think, what are we doing? Top 3, right?
Top 3, yeah.
Great, because that's how many I have. Top 3 most moving moments from the Star Wars movies.
Yes.
And it's a little play on words, but it's going to be fun.
Right. I will preface this by saying, when I was thinking about it, I was having a hard time putting myself in my own shoes the first
Right.
time I saw
Yes.
fill in the blank here. So I guess that's the end of my preface.
I
so
totally.
much of Star Wars to me is like this like academic thing of like, not, that's not the right word, but like,
No, yeah, we are
I
academics.
know that Darth Vader is Luke's father, and that being a moving moment for me doesn't really work.
Yes, totally.
That's where I'm coming from.
Well, and it's the hard thing of being aware of a lot of things in the background of culture, where
Right.
I know the spoilers for a lot of movies,
Mm-hmm.
and so if I do watch them, it was like the Jaws thing, it was like trying to watch it with the knowledge of like how it's gonna end, kind of. Which I think, I'm trying to remember, like, it would be so hard for me to remember how it felt the first time I saw Star Wars, because I actually saw it when I was little, because we had that little VHS box set.
Right.
And
me
so I
too.
would have
and
been
it was somewhat
surprised.
curated for me too. Like, I don't even remember how old I was, or see if I even saw them in the right order. You know, like people talk about like what order do you watch them in? That's only a discussion for someone who's, say, like 12 years old or older.
Yeah.
I suppose you have like memories of when you're like, 9 or something, but like,
Dude, I honestly don't.
yeah.
I know like from a sort of intellectual standpoint that I existed before I was 9.
Yeah.
But gosh, if I remember fuck all from like elementary school. Like I know these things
no.
happened because I've like told stories about them, but I don't actually have
Right.
these memories.
Right.
And so like it's the same thing like when people are like, oh, like when did you, or like I don't know, it'd be the same if someone was like, what was the first book you read? I'd be like, I don't know, I was just always reading, and I was always watching Star Wars because it was one of me and my brothers and my sister's favorite movies. Like we were always watching it.
Yeah.
So I don't remember a time when I didn't watch it, and so it'd be really hard to remember like how I actually felt when I like first saw like the I'm your father stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we're on somewhat equal footing here. So I have like an honorable mention before I get into my actual list, because like when I was trying to think of like classic moments, the music really came up to me a lot, and the one that was really just like so perfectly classic is like Luke staring out at the suns on Tatooine and the original movie with the Luke Force theme playing. But again, I think that one is more just like, if that were shown to me in like a clip show of like classic moments, I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. But like watching the movie now, again, like I don't know how moved I can be watching something on like my computer.
Right. Yeah,
that's my
true.
honorable mention.
Well, that's good. I didn't write down an honorable mention, so
That's okay.
go again, and then we'll go back and forth.
Oh, okay. So all of that preface leading me here now. My number 3, I'm counting down to my number 1.
Great.
It's truly so stupid to me now thinking that the number 1 moment that moved me in Star Wars like isn't from the original trilogy.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
Anyway, so number 3, you'll see. Number 3 is the Vice Admiral Holdo maneuver when it was in complete black and white and silence when she hyperspaced through the fleet.
Yeah, that was dope as hell.
Because that, for me, in the moment of seeing it in the theater and the entire packed house was completely pin drop silent, that was, for me, like the thing that I imagine kids in the 70s when the first scene of Star Wars happened and like you see Leia's ship fly over and then you see the giant ship fly over. Like,
right. Or when you see like the
Death watching? What is this?
Right. Or you're like when you see the Death Star explode and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah,
whoa.
right.
That's a good one. I felt the same way. Like, and I think I was also that was like, I feel like I hadn't been surprised by a Star Wars movie in a while, and when that happened, I was like, "Oh shit!" Okay,
that's exactly right. That's kind of where my list is coming from. Is like things that surprise me.
Yeah, it was definitely a sense of, "Oh, they just did that? Okay, dang."
Right.
Because it was not something that I expected Star Wars to do.
Yeah.
And it was that was and hey, you know what? We like Last Jedi here on this show, so everyone
we sure do.
Everyone can eat my butt, but not in like a fun way. So
no, not in like the millennial way.
Yeah, that was like so I texted Mike a while ago and I was like, for all we make fun of ourselves for not having like hot takes on media and Star Wars, we're at least not the coldest takes, because there was someone I talked with recently that was like, Force Awakens was too similar to New Hope. It sucked. And then they also didn't like Last Jedi, and they were like, it was too different. They wasted Luke. And I was like, oh God, you're the least interesting human being. Like, you're just not. And I don't think they listen to the show, so hopefully they don't get mad at me when I say that. Or at least in that moment, they were the least interesting human being. They have other positive
that's truly
characteristics,
like a very boring take.
Yeah, I was like, oh really? You're like every other like sweaty fanboy that's makes Star Wars.
One movie was too similar and like it was too Star Wars, and the other one was not Star Wars enough.
Right, and it's those people who are the annoying ones that like give fandom in general, any fandom that give those a bad name, and especially they're the ones that make Star Wars like really toxic sometimes. When it's like man, this was it's like shut up. These movies are like, you're acting like these movies are like capital like C cinema, and like, this is a blockbuster. Enjoy it for what it is, and quit fucking whining and like making women afraid to write things on Twitter, you assholes.
Like,
Anyway,
the
so
worst.
I'll count down from my. I didn't put my
Yeah,
order.
what's
in
your
these
number
real quick.
3?
My number 3. So I'm going. Damn, I just realized something. Okay, so I'm gonna say number 3 is gonna be. Man, I know this is kind of lame, but my third is I think just the end of Return of the Jedi when they're just having a party and it's like really fun, and it's not moving in the way of like so emotional, but it's just happy in the way where like you said about the Avengers that one time where it's like the good guys won and the bad guys lost. And
Right.
like everyone's reuniting, and the Ewoks are like, yep, and
Right.
it's just very happy. And then,
And they're
like,
playing
I think
the
right
drums on all those helmets.
yeah, it's so like, and which is so macabre in the best way. And yeah, that part combined with I think Luke talking to Darth Vader like on the Death Star before he leaves, I think is a very good way to end the movie. And also like that was a fitting into the franchise, and it was for a long time. And I think that was, I don't know, that was very not moving in the I am overly emotional sense, but moving in sort of like that very happy
Closure.
Closure where you're like, I just finished a good book, like that feeling.
Right. That's a good one. I was thinking of Return of the Jedi moments. In fact, I didn't include any, but I that one came to my mind as well. My second one, this is to stay on theme with The Last Jedi.
It's all from The Last Jedi.
The just like so basically my honorable mention and my number 3 kind of add up to my number 2, which is the Luke staring out at the sunsets as he like fades away moment in The Last Jedi.
Ooh, yeah, that was some good shit.
Because it's
a
similar thing to what you just said, sort of a bittersweet like closing of a book.
I almost had that moment on mine, but it got knocked down by another one. But that okay, yeah, that's why I really enjoy what Last Jedi did with Luke. Is I think it's much more interesting to see him have to make the journey from like inaction to action, but in a very interesting way that we haven't seen in a Star Wars movie before.
Yeah, and a like use your brain way and not like be a general in the Jedi army.
Well, it's also like, what are you gonna do? Like Mark Hamill's old now, and he's not in amazing shape. Are you gonna like make Mark Hamill go up there and like pretend to sword fight? Like,
Right,
don't make
like
Mark
Attack
Hamill.
of the Clones Yoda.
Yeah, don't make him do. Yeah, don't make CGI Mark Hamill flip around everywhere. Like cater to his strengths, and they did.
Right.
It was great. My second one is from Force Awakens, actually, because I was trying to think. I was trying to put myself back in the, like you said earlier, like the position of like when you see it in the theater for the first time or whatever.
Right.
And gosh, I gotta say, I feel like I knew it was coming, but when Kylo Ren kills Han Solo, that was pretty. Like I knew it had to happen, and I kind of was like seeing it coming, but like Chewie being all like watching it and like, oof, it got me.
Yeah,
It got me
it's
good,
tough.
and I definitely I saw that movie a couple times in theaters, and like I'm pretty sure the first time it happened, I was crying because I was just like, I knew this had to happen, but damn, this hurts.
Yeah, that came up in my brain as well, but again, it got knocked off.
Yeah, it's just, oh man, I don't know. And like I'm a Force Awakens apologist. I think it's a fun movie. I know everyone likes to talk shit about it. And yeah, it is a retread, but it's fun. It's a fun retread.
Yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars, man.
Star Wars, man, a fun retread. Okay, so my number 1, staying on theme yet again, is the Rey and Kylo Ren lightsaber fight in The Last Jedi.
Oh yeah, that was dope as hell.
That like slow-mo moment when the shot composition itself is like so perfect that he like slices Snoke, he pulls the lightsaber, and then the camera shifts focus to the foreground and Rey's hand grabs it, and then it's like slow-mo and they like start the fight, and it's like,
but Mike, we never got to learn about who Admiral Snoke was.
he's the little kid from the prequels who goes, Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. There's actually like fan theories about that.
Oh God, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. So I'm a all in on Last Jedi in terms of moving moments.
And also, I think that's like the best fight in Star Wars history so far.
The
like,
Last Jedi is so high on my list because not necessarily because the whole story works perfectly for me, but because it has like the most best moments.
Yeah, I we're gonna like if we had a lot of subscribers to this podcast, we'd lose a lot of them because of how much we like Last Jedi. And you like it more than I do, but I think it's very funny that you have no original series moments on your top 3 list.
Oh, it's completely stupid.
Yeah, it's a little absurd. But no, I agree. I
But
think
it's all
like
from that contextual thing of like I wasn't, 19
Right.
or 16 when the first movie came out in the 70s.
yeah, and it's hard to know how you felt whenever the first time you saw him you were like 4 or 5, and it's like I don't know.
Right.
I'm sure I really liked it, but I don't know. I was a baby. I don't remember.
Right.
My top one.
Yeah.
Han Solo going into that carbonite. I love you. I know.
I love
Ooh,
you,
yeah.
I know.
Oh yeah, and also just the way that's shot too. Like it's just very dramatic, but in like the best way.
Yes.
And the way that sets up the end of that movie too is just chef kiss. Mwah.
Mm-hmm.
And also like the best acting and chemistry between two love interests that we've ever had in Star Wars.
Yeah, that movie's really good.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. But
The-
that's definitely
you're
my
right,
top
the way
one.
it's shot is like so dynamic.
Yeah, I just was like when I was thinking about him, I was like, that part's just so good.
Yeah,
And, like,
it really is.
It doesn't like bring a tear to my eye, but it puts that whole like I don't know, that feeling in your chest where you're just like, whoa, like you just feel so full, so filled up with emotion,
Yeah.
moving as it were.
So I just realized, hearing us talk about this stuff, I realized what this thing was we just did. We just talked about cool stuff in Star Wars. Like, did this just become that super basic opinion, like The Force Awakens was too similar and The Last Jedi was too different? Are we the least interesting person in the room?
No, because we're doing a fun
No,
little.
it was cool. Han Solo.
Yeah, he was so cool. I know. I was like looking at my list, and I was like, like 2 out of the 3 involve Han Solo. Like, of course they do. But no, ours is cool and good because we are
Cool
doing
and
like
good.
it's like a fun like angle on it. We're like, moving, right? Like that, like moving.
Yeah.
It's like fun and cute.
Yeah, it's fun and cute and good, and it's not bad.
No, it's not bad. It's a good show. It's a good
Bad to
podcast
look
at
at.
gmail.com. It's bad to look at. Do you have any more? Should we do some more like pros and cons for moving? I know this was kind of a fun episode. I think this is maybe a good structure for our more concept-based episodes because
Right.
There's not as much like minutia to get into with the idea of moving, but telling stories about it and then like a game semi-related
Yeah, it's
to
like
it.
an organic opening in a herald.
Yeah. Wait.
We
wait.
pulled out a bunch of ideas.
We got to
from
do
the,
some
like-
more. We got to do some more whooshing. So hold on.
Yeah. Should we do a what's that thing? The where you call upon the dead?
Yeah.
Damn it, what's that thing called? Invocation.
Invocation. Yep. I think we could do an invocation. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't remember the order of it, and I actually don't really want to.
No. But I do want to move my arms and do some whooshing noise.
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
I
okay.
do miss that. This was a real inside baseball like
Gotta
IO
rent a truck.
jokes. That like our listeners are definitely going to appreciate. Go to the IO Theater, guys. There's some fun stuff there. Mike and I don't perform there anymore, though, so tell them, protest them for that reason.
Yeah.
Go there, support them, but tell them, where's Mike and Josiah?
Like, where's all the white guys?
Yeah, there seems to be not enough white guys here. Womp womp.
But yeah, I think we did hit on a lot of it right before we on our first false start before taking our commercial break.
Right.
There's like some kind of story arc evolution to charting your life, my life,
My life.
charting your life in terms of moves, as you might chart the characters of Star Wars in terms of movies.
Sure.
Move and movie is kind of similar as a word.
We're connecting the dots now. I can see this.
Moving involves like cargo.
Okay, yeah.
Like freighting things whether it's in your own car or if you rent a van or if you hire movers. Like, if you hired movers, it might be two guys who look like Han and Chewie.
Yeah, and you have to make the Kessel run every time you move.
You do, and you have to do it in under 12 parsecs.
And you got to dodge those asteroids.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've done every time I've moved, at least.
Yep.
Yeah, I think as far as concepts go, the idea of it being a transitory period and like sequels and different installations, that might
be our like, strongest leg to stand on.
Yeah, which we very infrequently have strong legs, which you also need strong legs if you're going to move. You got to carry some stuff.
You do not want to lift with your back.
No. Use those legs, guys. Come on. What are you, new? Use those legs.
What are you, new?
What are you, born yet? What are you, a baby that doesn't know how to lift things?
Yeah.
Jeez. Come on, learn how to lift.
Got little chubby, weak legs. You can't even walk.
Yeah, what a nerd. Jeez. Freaking nerdy babies.
Sometimes moving involves lightsabers if you have a lightsaber.
That's true. I've had to move mine.
I was going to say, like, here's a point against it. There are no lightsabers. There's no Death Star. But then I was like, you know what? I moved 2 Lego sets that I wasn't able to sell on the Facebook Marketplace because I didn't do a very good job. And they were both Star Wars.
Yeah. I had to do that with all my Star Wars bullshit that I also tried to sell and get rid of. It turns out that no one wants your bullshit, Like, I was trying to like get a little money before I came to Alaska, and I was like trying to sell things, and like no one wanted my shit, and I was like, weird.
I will get some takers on these Legos on like eBay, but I just didn't try hard enough before we moved. That's actually a good point. Like, a lot of Star Wars is junk.
Oh yeah, that's true. And you have like a junk box when you move. You're just like, here's just everything we couldn't find a place for.
Yeah,
just throwing it in here. That's my favorite shit about moving is whenever you have eventually you just have a plastic bag that there's like a Ethernet cord in there, and there's like some deodorant and like some dryer sheets and like a jar of peanut butter.
Right.
And you're like I missed all these things the first time through. So this is just gonna be in this bag.
My sister is taking my current bed frame because we got a new one. So like, it's in my last bedroom, and so like we're gonna make one last sort of trip when she starts moving out, and it'll be exactly that, like a big bag with whatever else was under the bed, and then like my box of tea bags.
Yeah, it's like, do we need these dust bunnies? Should we bring these?
They've been a part of our life for so long.
Yeah, I feel like we owe it to them to bring them along. So I don't know. I think I know what my rating is going to be.
Yeah, what should a unit of measure be?
Well, one time, Mike, I want to remind you that your unit of measure was the little ramp from the back of the moving truck from Toy Story. So I want to bring that back and do the ramp from the back of a moving truck.
Okay, I think that's great.
Yeah.
I might do dust bunnies. I think that's a cute idea.
I like dust bunnies is such a cute word.
It is a cute
like
word
a cute
for
phrase.
Such a kind of gross thing.
Yeah, it's like when I was a kid, I didn't know what that I thought they were actual little creatures,
Yeah.
Like I didn't think they were bunnies, but I was like, oh yeah, I guess just little creatures live under the bed, and I didn't know it was just like a cute name for the nasty little dirt and dust clumps that happen.
Balls, yeah. Well, hey, little creatures, that's Star Wars.
Oh, that's true. So, okay, I'm going to say, I think we had a little bit of a leg to stand on with some of it, so I'm going to say 2 out of 10 moving truck ramps.
That sounds pretty good. In fact, I almost even made my unit of measure men and a truck, because there's that company, 2 men and a truck. So I'm going to say 2 dust bunnies who are men who drive a truck.
And that's not related to anything. That's just what they do. That's just their job.
I didn't want to just blindly agree with you because I didn't have as much of an idea as maybe you did, but I just said 2, and then I thought about it, and I was like, well, that's not very high, but we're talking about moving.
Yeah, it's the concept
and
of moving.
Star Wars. The fact that I got any points is actually somewhat remarkable. So
yeah, I think we made enough of a case to give it that 1 extra point beyond the lowest it could possibly be.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I think we have a leg to stand on.
Yeah, like if this were in our last episode where we did Is It Star Wars, this would have gotten a pass.
Right, and then we would have been like, well, time to do a full one on it now.
Right, and we already did. It's this.
We did. It's this. Yeah, I'm kind of proud of us.
Sweet.
In a weird
Yeah.
way, because I'm like, this is our first foray into something off the beaten path.
Yeah,
or
right.
even
This
more
is like
so
the
than normal.
Perfect example of our Venn diagram of, I forget what we said, but it was like
Critical thinking and dumb shit or something like that.
Critical thinking and dumb shit.
Yeah, that's us. That's what
We
you can.
held the world's stupidest microscope up to a very vague topic.
Yeah, you can always count on us to think critically about some dumbass shit. So if you want us on the internet, you can find us.
Do.
And we know you do. You can find us at How Star Wars Is It on Twitter and Instagram. You can email us at agoodpodcast@gmail.com. We've gotten some nice interactions on the email and on Twitter. And on
That's
Instagram,
right.
it's really cool. So hit us up. We always love when you guys say nice things to us.
Yeah, we sure do. And when you tell your friend and rate and review us, and also you can see us live again. I'll plug that at PodSlam on the 21st, September 21st, at the IO Theater here in Chicago. You can see. I don't know about you when you're back, but you can see me live in all of the following things. Anarchy, an improvised rock opera, is performing in September. I forget exactly which dates I'm doing off the top of my head, but I'm doing some. And the Matrix parody musical is every Friday and Saturday in September. And also, Baby Wants Candy. The 3 Saturdays that I won't be in the Matrix musical parody, I will be in Baby Wants Candy at Second City, which is music improv, which I had already committed to before we got our extension. So chances are, if you're in Chicago and you go and see a music show, I might be in it.
Yeah, it's like a solid 3 out of 7 chance that you're going to see Mike in any given night, depending on where you are. So yeah, I'll be back in Chicago, and then turning around and going to a new place in October. So
isn't that wild?
I won't be in anything, but I will be going to see Mike and some stuff, and I'll be hanging out. So come hang out with me, I guess.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, why not? So I'm at the Josiah Man on Twitter. Mike is at Mike Gospel.
Yas.
And I think that's all. I think it's time for Tubby Bye-Bye.
I think so, too. We should probably do what we always say, which is, we love you. And
may the
4th
be with you.